Thank you for staying with us. It's still Journalist Hangout on Sunday. For years, one of our national symbols was long queues at filling stations. It appears we are back to the dark days as perennial fuel scarcity, while fuel marketers under the aegis of Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, IPMAN, attributes the scarcity as a bottlenecks in the downstream sector. Nigerians have turned to black markets where petrol is sold for as high as 300 to 400 naira per litre to get fuel. Motorists, commuters, and business owners are bearing the brunt. Jide, you need to see people who did not go to church today. It wasn't looking like a Sunday. Early in the morning, all around 5 a.m., from 5 a.m., long queues everywhere. And the traffic, this has stifled free flow of vehicular movement across the country.
You know, the times are hard for the ordinary Nigerian.
Honestly.
The times are hard. But this biting fuel scarcity has made matters worse for the ordinary Nigerian. It has coincided with a period when even the electricity generation level has gone down. The other day, I think sometime last week, the discos were apologizing to Nigerians and claiming that what the TCN wills to them was too small, and that was why we are experiencing darkness across the land.
And
we've seen people
harsh weather.
Yes, we've seen people who normally they used to have 21, 23 hours of electricity. They too are going through what the average Nigerian is going through. So, in such a situation, you want to buy petrol, not just for your car, but for your generator and heat. But that's not what we are seeing. How can we have a situation in which this fuel scarcity that we've had since the second half of last year,
honestly,
is still on?
Till now.
In an election year.
26 days to the election.
Some situations are being created to make it difficult for Nigerians to want to vote for the ruling party. Because it's before our eyes. Before our eyes, you see suffering. In an election year, you do not permit this kind of nonsense to happen. You put everything in place to to convince Nigerians that, look, continuity of your government in power will make life even better for them. Not create or allow a situation
people
like this that our people can easily point at the pains that they are going through.
Spending at the station. Just
a few weeks to election. You do not permit this kind of thing to happen. I mean, this fuel scarcity has gone on for too long.
Honestly.
People used to praise President Buhari that, when he came in fuel scarcity evaporated. Though some of them are not actually completely right, because in 2017 we went through serious fuel scarcity under this administration. But now, if you've had fuel scarcity for the number of months that we've had this,
honestly,
there is no way in an election year that you allow that to happen. It makes no sense. People will be able to, you cannot even point to the fact that you sanitize that sector. If what people can see is what we are seeing now, Nigerians have never bought fuel for as high as they are buying it now.
Never.
In my area, it is 310 per litre. But people are buying at 400. When I went to Akure, Ayodeji Moradeyo had to buy black market at 800 naira for 4 litres. Because he couldn't find anywhere to buy fuel. The only fuel station that we saw selling fuel in Akure Metropolis actually had one pump, just a pump.
Chaotic.
But if you see the number of people there, motorbikes and the rest of them trying to buy fuel, I mean, this pain has been allowed to go on for too long. And I won't be surprised if the opposition parties, if they are jubilant about this, because they have something to tell Nigerians that, look, we told you we are better than these people. Now, as you can see, so this is the thing. The decision makers, President Buhari and the rest of them,
Minister of Petroleum,
the Minister of Petroleum
himself, President Buhari,
they should think more about their own legacy, the legacy they want to leave behind. They should think more about their party rather than thinking about themselves. It may not bother them. They may not feel the pain that the rest of us are feeling. I mean, if you are petroleum minister or minister of state for petroleum, if you want 1 million liters, they can make it available, or it's just instruction that you give. We know that is possible. Now, I'm not saying that that's what they are doing, but I know that you cannot be petroleum minister and be going through the pains that the rest of us are going through. But it doesn't stop you from thinking that, oh, why should we allow this to happen? It's marks of inefficiency in the system to allow this nonsense that is going on, this pain that Nigerians are going through, to continue. The people who are happy about it are people who think that, well, it sits well with us because we can use it to campaign against the government. It is possible that there are actually fifth columnists within the system. And I expect President Buhari, who has been a victim of fifth columnists when he was a military president, a military head of state, I expect him to know that you can't trust everyone around you. There are people who actually be fifth columnists. I mean, even if he didn't read history, he should at least be able to recall things that happened to him. When he was head of state, he didn't order people to, soldiers to go and dismantle Awolowo's library. They went into Awolowo's house, turned his house upside down, dismantled his library because they wanted people to turn against President Muhammadu Buhari. President Muhammadu Buhari is alive. He remembers this case because when we interviewed him at the news magazine, he told us that he never sent them. So there are people, few columnists, probably trying to bring down his government. He ought to know that and do the needful.
I have my first caller. David is calling us from the United Kingdom. Thank you for joining us, David.
Hello.
Yes, go ahead, please.
Hello. Yeah, good afternoon. Thank you for all the good work you lot are doing.
Thank you, sir.
I think it's my first destination to get good information from Nigeria.
Thank you. Thank you.
Regarding the fuel scarcity, I think the real problem really is about the way our economy is designed and the connection to the US dollar. I think that this is where Tinubu gets it right. We've got to make progress. We've got to look at the bigger strategic issues. How do we begin to decouple the Nigerian economy and budget from the US dollar so that we can determine most of our pricing and how we determine value in Naira? I think that's the big issue. I mean, beyond the election itself. So hopefully we will get there.
Thank you, David.
Thank you so very much.
Thank you for your contribution. What will, because I know that in 24 hours, the president can, even though if it's artificial, to just make sure, because of this election, we can't afford to create this impression about our party. We can't submit our people to this kind of hardship. What will APC be telling average Nigerians across the country and that are in the filling station right now? They have not even decided to vote.
The undecided voters especially would be difficult to convince for the ruling party as we speak. And that's why the president, who incidentally is a minister of petroleum, he has been since the inception of his administration, almost 8 years ago, should be worried. It is as if the APC controls the ministry, and this is happening in an election year. People are disappointed in the approach of the government. Even party members are unhappy. I am sure they expect more from the government than it is currently doing. The danger therein is for people to judge the ruling party with this incident as we approach the election. Unfortunately, that will not help us make informed choice. It will not, because it's a one-off thing that has been allowed to linger. it should not be difficult. It should not be difficult for the president and the government to ensure palliative measures that will bring this crisis down as we head to the election. It will not be out of place for the government to decide once and for all to tackle whether Ipman, that is independent petroleum market, that has been telling us it is due to certain issues somewhere. Why is it difficult for us to go straight to this place they point to, see if what they are saying is the truth, and help alleviate the sufferings of Nigeria? Because if there is something I saw online, say, which queue are you joining today? It is a campaign slogan that can tilt things the other way for the ruling party. I expect people to be worried. It appears people are not taking this as serious as they should. Forget the election. Should Nigerians go through this kind of suffering? The answer is no.
President Muhammadu Buhari, the people that are around President Buhari, some people are not telling him the truth, and they're not giving him the picture of the implication of this thing, this kind of damage might do to his party and his legacy.
Yes. Normally, you expect the president to finish strongly. There are many things that he has done that, would define his legacy. You cannot take away some of the credits or some of the good things that this president has done, especially where he can see people suffering and coming in. What he has done by way of helping states that found it difficult to pay salaries and all that, because he didn't want people to suffer. He's known to have stepped in that under him, a president that has helped the masses to take away their pains, helped poor pensioners to say, okay, pay this. Even Biafra policemen, he stepped in and helped them to pay
their money,
pay them what they were owed. Is that same president that people are seeing under his watch? Fuel scarcity has lingered for this long, and is even looking like it's getting worse with every passing day. Because some months back, it wasn't this bad. How did we allow it to suddenly become this bad? This bad to the point that people will be buying petrol at 400 naira per liter. In Lagos, 310. It was, someone was selling between 400 and 480. Of course, now, that's a very distant location to Lagos. But the tank farms are here. This is where the ships berth.
If you start selling 300 naira in Lagos,
yet our people,
what happened in Katsina and Maiduguri.
And that's why those marketers were warning the other day that, look, this thing could go as high as 800 naira per liter, even when subsidy is removed. We are now hearing the usual excuses that, oh, it is smuggling that is making this to happen. Nigerians don't want to hear such stories. What's our business with that? The duty of the government is to stop the smuggling. There are people who are mandated to stop the smuggling of these products across our borders. I do not even believe that smuggling, could make it this bad. How many tankers of smuggled petrol go across our borders in a day, for example, that will now lead to the level of pain? Did we not have smuggling before now? Is smuggling a new phenomenon? Has it not been with us for years? Almost as old as our country? So the president and his minders have to realize the damage that this is done. I'm only, it's just an advice that I'm giving. Some people are happy because
they don't even want to. They don't even like the way you are talking about it.
I know they are going to abuse me. They are going to abuse me. But if this problem is solved, you see, people who have one-track reasoning, they would think, oh, he's saying this because he wants APC to win. You understand? Oh, he's saying this because of Bola Tinubu. Oh, he's saying this because his preferred choice is a particular person. But if you solve the problem, the ordinary man, the suffering goes away. That is my own attitude. It's just similar to what's happening with the Naira thing. If you solve the problem and it becomes available to everyone,
yeah, the suffering
will go away. It's not. I'm not concerned about the politician. I'm not concerned. But I can at least advise you that, look, if you want to live on a strong note and you want your party to remain in power, the level of suffering that we are seeing, stop it. That's why, look at what the Kano governor did and others. They said, you can't come now. Because they didn't want a situation in which the president's convoy will be stoned. It's a possibility. It has happened before. Did it not happen in Borno? Abi? Or have we forgotten? So, and look at the protest even in Katsina.
Okay, from the first Scarcity, I'll take you to the Central Bank of Nigeria. And finally, the Central Bank of Nigeria has bowed to pressure as it has